Welcome to Rise Untold, where the stories behind the spotlight come alive. Every rumor has a spark, and in the world of entertainment, one whisper can turn into a wildfire overnight. Tamar Braxton knows this better than most. She has lived her life under the public eye, celebrated for her voice, her boldness, and her unforgettable presence. But with fame comes scrutiny, and with scrutiny comes controversy. The latest storm didn't just carry Tamar's name, it linked her with Mendeecees Harris, the man known from Love and Hip Hop, a figure whose life has always been surrounded by drama, loyalty, and scandals. The claim was explosive. Whispers that Tamar was somehow involved with Mendeecees. And if that wasn't enough, the rumor mill added another twist. Suggestions that Yandy Smith, Mendeecees' wife, wasn't just upset, but furious. Some voices even claimed the situation escalated to confrontation. But how did it even begin? Was there any truth, or was it just the perfect recipe of gossip, timing, and social media hype? To understand, you have to rewind. Tamar Braxton has always been the kind of star who attracts attention. From her powerful performances to her fiery appearances on reality TV, her personality demands the spotlight. But it also makes her an easy target for rumors. The narrative of a strong, outspoken woman often gets twisted into stories that feed the public's hunger for drama. Mendeecees Harris, on the other hand, has his own history. A father, a husband, and a man whose past legal troubles and relationships have made headlines long before Tamar's name was ever tied to his. With Yandy Smith by his side, the two became a love and hip-hop power couple. Their love story, their struggles, and their loyalty were played out on TV screens for years. But television is one thing, and real life is another. When Tamar's name suddenly appeared in the same sentence as Mendeecees, the internet did what it always does. It ran wild. Tweets, blogs, YouTube, gossip channels, everyone wanted a piece of the rumor. And in the chaos, the story grew bigger than the facts. People wanted to believe there was betrayal. They wanted to imagine Yandy confronting Tamar. They wanted the drama because drama sells. But Tamar wasn't quiet. She addressed the whispers directly, calling out the lies and making it clear that not every rumor deserves belief. Her voice was sharp, emotional, and unapologetic. She wasn't about to let her name get dragged without fighting back. For Tamar, it wasn't just about defending herself, it was about showing the world that women don't always have to be painted as the villain in someone else's story. And what about Yandy? Known for her strength, business sense, and her loyalty to Mendeecees, she didn't need to throw punches to send a message. Her silence, or her subtle responses online, spoke louder than any rumor. Because Yandy has built her life around something bigger than gossip. She has built it around family, loyalty, and proving that no headline can break what she and Mendeecees have worked for. So, what really happened? The truth is simpler and maybe more disappointing than the internet wanted to believe. There was no dramatic fight in a hallway, no betrayal behind closed doors, no chaos between Tamar and Yandy. What happened was what always happens in the world of celebrity. Rumors caught fire and people forgot that these stars are real humans with real lives. But the story still matters, because it says something about us. Why do we want to see women torn down? Why are we so quick to believe that two powerful women can only exist as rivals? Tamar Braxton and Yandy Smith are both survivors of this industry. They've faced heartbreak, betrayal, financial struggles, and public humiliation. And yet, they've also shown resilience, talent, and an ability to keep moving forward. For Tamar, the lesson is about control. Controlling her own narrative, her own voice, and refusing to be silenced by gossip. For Yandy, it's about loyalty, staying grounded, focused on her family, and proving that not every rumor can shake her foundation. And for Mendeecees, whether he likes it or not, his name will always pull in drama, But maybe that's the price of being on reality TV, where the line between real life and entertainment blurs until the world forgets there's a difference. Still, there's something powerful about how Tamar handled it. She didn't hide. She didn't let it slide. She faced it head-on, knowing that the world was watching. And Yandy, by not giving the gossip more fuel, showed that strength doesn't always come with shouting. It sometimes comes with silence. When the dust settles, the rumors fade, but the people involved are left with the scars of being misunderstood. And that's the real tragedy of fame. The world loves to watch a downfall more than a rise. But Rise Untold exists to remind you, behind every headline, there's a human being. So maybe the real story isn't about cheating or fights at all. Maybe it's about how quickly lies spread, how easily women get pitted against each other, and how much courage it takes to stand tall when the world wants you on your knees. Tamar Braxton will continue to sing, to speak, to live unapologetically. Yandy will continue to build, to protect, and to thrive with her family. And Mendeecees, as always, will remain a magnet for both love and controversy. The internet may want scandal, but the truth is simpler. Two women refuse to be defined by a rumor. That line alone says so much, because in today's world, scandal has become a form of entertainment. Headlines don't need to be true to go viral. A rumor doesn't need proof to capture millions of eyes. All it needs is the right mix of names, drama, and timing, and suddenly the internet takes over. We scroll, we click, we share, and without realizing it, we turn whispers into headlines and gossip into facts. But Tamar Braxton and Yandy Smith remind us of something deeper. They remind us that you can't let the noise of the world dictate your truth. Strength isn't about never facing storms. It's about refusing to let the storm drown out your voice. Think about it. How many times in life have you been judged on half-truths? How many times have people written stories about you without ever knowing the real chapters? For most of us, the scale is smaller. We aren't splashed across blogs or trending on Twitter, but the feeling is the same. A workplace rumor, a family misunderstanding, a friend turning whispers into daggers. We all know what it feels like to be misunderstood, misjudged, and misrepresented. And that's why this story matters. It isn't just about celebrities. It's about us. It's about the human urge to see conflict where maybe there isn't one. It's about how quickly people believe the worst, and how rare it is for anyone to stop and ask, what's the truth here? Tamar and Yandy could have fueled the fire. They could have fought back publicly, trading insults, adding fuel to the gossip machine that profits off women tearing each other apart. But instead, they chose differently. Tamar confronted the lie with her own voice. Yandy chose to let silence speak for her. And together, without even meaning to, they showed that rumors don't have to own you. That strength, that refusal to be defined by someone else's story, is the real rise here. Because avoiding the storm is impossible. The storm will come. In the age of social media, rumors are the weather. You can't control when they appear, but what you can control is how you walk through them. Do you let the rain wash you away? Or do you plant your feet, hold your head high, and keep moving forward? Tamar Braxton has been through storms before. Public breakups, industry battles, personal struggles, and every time people doubted if she would rise again. Yet here she is, still singing, still shining, still refusing to be reduced to gossip. Yandy Smith has lived through her own storms, holding her family together while Mendeecees served prison time, raising children under the weight of public judgment, fighting battles most people couldn't imagine, all while building businesses and maintaining her place as one of the most respected women in reality television. And still, she stands. These aren't just stories of survival. They're stories of resilience, of women who chose not to let lies or loss or whispers define their worth. So what does that mean for you? Maybe you're not Tamar. Maybe you're not Yandy. But maybe you've been in a place where people misunderstood you. Maybe your truth has been twisted into something you barely recognize. Maybe people you trusted carried your name in conversations you weren't even part of. It hurts. It always does. Being misunderstood is one of the deepest human pains because it strips us of something sacred, our voice. But here's the reminder. You don't need everyone to know your truth. You only need to know it yourself. Because not every story deserves your energy, and not every voice deserves your attention. The internet may cheer for scandal, but your life isn't entertainment. You're not a headline. You're not a rumor. You are not what someone else says in anger or jealousy or for clicks. You are the choices you make when the noise gets loud. You are the calm in the storm. You are the voice that whispers, "I know who I am," even when the world tries to tell you otherwise. And that's why Tamar and Yandy's response matters. They didn't let a false story control them. They didn't let gossip drag them into chaos. They rose beyond it. And that's a lesson we can all carry into our own lives. Because here's the truth. People will always talk. Whether you do everything right or everything wrong, someone will always find a reason to twist it. That's human nature. The question is, will you live for their approval? Or will you live in your truth? Tamar and Yandy chose truth. They chose strength. And in doing so, they gave us a story more powerful than any scandal ever could. So, next time you find yourself surrounded by whispers, remember this moment. Remember that gossip only has the power you give it. Remember that your energy is precious, your peace is sacred, and your truth doesn't need to be shouted from rooftops to be real. If Tamar and Yandy could survive the whispers, the headlines, and the attempts to drag their names into chaos, maybe you, too, can survive the rumors in your own life. Maybe you can walk through the storm without losing your ground. Maybe you can rise above the voices trying to pull you down. Because if they can rise beyond the noise, so can you. And if they could survive that, and still rise, maybe you can too.